everybody, this is Ivan coming to you from Advanced Toolware. We are advancing today's identity management solutions. Today I'm going to show you how to use UMRA to pull out Active Directory data and dump it into a CSV file. So let's start off by creating a new project. This will be an automation project, and I will call it, let's say, test CSV dumps. Dump. So the action we're going to use to pull out the database, Active Directory data, is generate generic table. It's under variable, actions, table, generate generic table. So let's configure it. As you can see, there's a number of different tables we can pull out, like a database or another CSV file. In our case, it's going to be an LDAP query. So over here we can specify which OU we want to bind to, or if we want to query the global catalog or specific DC for that matter. In my case, I'm just going to say I want to bind to a specific OU. And these are the users. I'll produce a dump of these guys over here. And then later I'll also show you how to produce two dumps from different OUs and join them together. So let's see, this is 3, Richland Elementary, automated, school district count. Okay. OU is 3, OU is Richland Elementary, OU is, what was it, automated, OU is school district count, and then these domain components, ADV demo. So as you can see, this is like a distinguished path style path to the OU. So next we have a filter. I'm just going to say object class user. You can learn how to use these filters on Google. They're pretty extensive. Next we can specify which attributes we want to pull out of the Active Directory. In my case, I just want, let's say, display name, username, and distinguished name. In the options section, I suggest you check this page size limit box. The reason for that is if you're pulling out a large number of records, this action will error out if there's more than 1,000, I believe. So by checking this box, basically keeps it from erroring out. Now we have to give our table a variable name. I'm just going to go with TB. If you used any variables in any of this configuration, you can put in some test values here so that you can run the test. In our case, I didn't use any variables, so I'm just going to run this test. And as you can see, it pulled out those four accounts with a display name, username, and distinguished name. So let's save this project. So next thing, in order to actually produce this report as a CSV file, we are going to use the manage table data action. And there's an action called export to CSV file. If you just press E, you will go straight to it. So let's fill out the configuration options. Our table is TB. Where are we going to place the file? I'm going to save this for a second. I'm going to place it somewhere in desktop. A folder called test. Say dump, that's .txt. Separator is a comma. Format string. I suggest you always write in quote always. This will basically quote every single value. And there's a couple different values you can put in here. You can read the UMRA help to learn what they are. But if you just stick to quote always, you don't have to worry about it. So let's see. So now we have a generate generic table where we get the data, put it in the table called TB, and then dump the table TB into the CSV file. So let's set, since this is an automation project, I gotta put it in the scheduler. So I'm going to say on command only. Go ahead and save it. And there's our project. So So I'll go ahead and run it. It looks like it finished very quickly. If you look over here, in under a millisecond, or I'm not sure if that's a millisecond, but here's the file. In the test folder is dump.txt. If we pull it up, we can see we have, we have 4 records in here, and they'll start off with display name, then username, and then the distinguished name. And so this is how we dumped those 4 users into CSV format. Now let's take it one step further. Let's say we want this data for kids in this OU, and we also want it for kids in some other OU, which cannot be easily placed under some top level OU, so you can just create a top level OU. So here's how we gotta do it. Let's say we want these guys and these guys. So 11 Sunrise High. So here's an easy way to do it. We have the generate table action. I'm gonna go ahead and copy it and paste it, and I'm gonna edit it. So now let's change the LDAP binding. It's gonna be OU11 OU Sunrise High. Let me double check that. 11 Sunrise High. Alright. Same filter, same attributes. Different variable though. I'm gonna call this TB2. Let's run this test. As you can see, we have some different kids in here this time. And so now what we want to do, we'll use the manage table data action again. And there's an operation here called, I believe it's called copy. He has a funky name that I can't seem to remember. I think, oh, there we go. Add data of table variable to table. So table is TB. Data variable table to add is TB2. And so what this will basically do is it will take TB2 and place it at the bottom of TB. So now we have these 2 dumps. We add one to the other, and we do the same export. And if you run this again, by the way, that file will be overwritten. So let's go ahead and run it. Looks like it finished already. As you can see, now we have those 4 kids from the first OU and 4 kids from the second OU with the same setup. And this basically you can use to generate all kinds of reports because of the flexibility of this filter. You can create users who are members of certain groups, or users who are disabled and members of certain groups, but not in a certain OU. It's really, possibilities are limitless. Well, I hope this was a good demonstration. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me directly. My email address is ivanj@advtoolware.com. And I hope this is helpful to you. So you have a good day.